Hare Krishna. So today we have started the session 4 of Janmashtami Meditations. In the last session, we have discussed about the appearance of Lord Krishna and what happened in Vrindavan and what happened in Mathura. So we ended the session by discussing about how Vasudeva has brought Vasudeva Krishna and entered the maternal chambers of Devaki, and he left him there and took Yogamaya with him. So last session we discussed about how Yashodamai actually gave birth to twins. Yeah, one is Swayam Bhagavan Shri Krishna and the other is Yogamaya. So the Vasudev, the Krishna whom he brought is Vasudeva Krishna, who is the plenary expansion of Swayam Bhagavan Krishna, who merged with Krishna, whom Yashodamai has given birth. So today we will discuss something very beautiful about the difference in the rasas. So Devaki and Nanda Maharaj, Devaki and Vasudev and Nanda Baba and Yashodamai, they all love Krishna in Vatsalya Ras. But there is a difference in these mellows in both these cases. So in case of Devaki and Vasudev, their love for Krishna or their Vatsalya Rasa is still mixed with Jnana and Aishwarya Bhav. But in case of Yashodamai and Nanda Baba, their Vatsalya Rasa is pure. It is not mixed with Jnana and Aishwarya. So this is a very deep understanding of what is pure love, which we all speak about and which we all hanker for, which we all long for, which we have so many definitions about. Yes. So this pure rasa, or pure love for Krishna is exhibited by different devotees at different levels. And so today we will try to have an insight into these rasas and their different manifestations through different devotees. So in last session, we were also discussing this important concept that this material world is an antithesis of the spiritual world. Yes. So we can appreciate this by understanding the temporary nature of the relationships around us and the many times that they disappoint us, they frustrate us, or call for a compromise, or how much ever you try to make a relationship perfect, at the max, it has to be separated at the time of death. Right? So that's the nature of the material relationships. But nonetheless, so this is not a cause of disappointment. This is where, impersonalists end. They say, oh, everything is anyways temporary. So there is nothing. So let's sign off. This is an impersonalist thought process. But a devotee's understanding or a view is that this is, the very fact there is a mirage. You see some mirage sometimes when you're going, is that somewhere there is reality of water. Right? Sometimes when you go in the deserts, there is a mirage. Yeah, mirage, that means we think there is water, but there is no water. But the very fact that you're attracted to that mirage, the very fact the mirage is present is there, means there is water somewhere. Similarly, in this material world, we are in search of a pure rasa in relationships. So that's a mirage. But its reality exists in the spiritual world. So that is why Srila Rupa Goswami has given us Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Rasa Amrita. So rasa is Amrita. Amrita means imperishable. It is eternal. So that's again the difference between the material world and the spiritual world. So the Bhakti Rasamrita explains there are 5 different rasas. Yeah, the 5 primary rasas that in which love is exchanged between the Lord and his devotees. Yeah, these rasas are Shanta, Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya, and Madhurya. But interestingly, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has descended, he proclaimed that I will make the whole world dance in ecstasy by introducing them to pure Krishna Bhakti in the 4 rasas. So he said 4 rasas. And he did not include Shanta rasa in these 4 rasas. He discarded it. Yeah. So according to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna Bhakti is manifest only in 4 rasas, that is Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya, and Madhurya. So Shanta rasa is why Mahaprabhu has discarded it, is that it is basically the Paramatmavadis and the Brahmavadis. That's where it ends. Like they have an understanding of God, but it doesn't go beyond Jnana and Aishwarya. It stops there. But and one of the most important difference between the Shantaras and the remaining 4 mellows is that people of the devotees of Shantaras, they do not understand the personal form of the Supreme Lord Krishna. Some of the examples of Shantaras devotees are like the Navayogendras, the 4 Kumaras, the Chatush Kumaras, who are great jnanis. So the real love for Krishna begins when service begins. So that is why Mahaprabhu has declared that there are only 4 rasas in loving relationship with Krishna, which are Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya, and Madhurya. So even in Sakhya rasa, that is a relationship of friendship with Krishna, there are 2 types. They're classified into 2 types. So what are these 2 types of Sakhya rasa? One is called the Sambhrama Sakhya, and another is called Vishrambha Sakhya. So what is the Sambhrama Sakhya rasa? So this is the mellow of friendship, which is mixed with awe and reverence. Like, for example, we see this in the relationship of Krishna with Arjuna and Bhima. When Arjuna has seen the universal form of Lord Krishna, he was bewildered. He started offering obeisances. We read this in the 11th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Yeah. And he regrets for having been intimate to the Lord. And calling him, Hey Krishna, Hey Yadava, and Vihara Shayyasanas, I have, just slept with you on the same bed and I was sitting on the same asana as you, but you're a supreme absolute truth. How could I do that? And he's feeling remorseful, regretful. So this is like, the Sakhya Bhav in Sambhrama with awe and reverence. So we also appreciate this in the relationship of Vibhishan and in even Sugriva. So basically, the Sambhrama Sakhya is found in the planets like Vaikuntha, Ayodhya. So, so if you see the relationship of Vibhishana and Sugriva, they couldn't even approach Lord Ram. No, what to speak of making friendship. So it's like that reverence, that awe and reverence is always there between the Lord and his devotee. So this is Sambhrama Sakhya. So what is Vishrambha Sakhya? So Vishrambha Sakhya is exhibited by the devotees of Vrindavan, Vraj. And this is pure love, friendship in pure love. Like you see the example of Sudama, Subala, Sridhama. Yeah, they used to play with Krishna. Yeah, and what to speak of, doing things like, sitting on the shoulders of Krishna and going around. Yeah, and Krishna, and they used to snatch away Krishna's food, from his mouth and eat. And Krishna used to snatch away food from the Gopas and he used to eat. This is what something Brahmaji couldn't handle. He thought this can't be God. Yeah. He had a difficult, tough time understanding this, purity of love. So this is Vibhrama, pure Sakhya, pure friendship between Krishna and his friends in Vrindavan, like all the Gopakumaras. So similarly, in the Vatsalya, we see that Lord Krishna has this beautiful relationship with Yashoda Mai and Nanda Baba, in a pure affection. But in case of Vasudeva and Devaki, so when Devaki saw Krishna appear in his four-handed form, and she couldn't. She immediately. There are two things to it. She immediately begged him to appear in the two-handed form. She felt that she will be ridiculed. Why she would be ridiculed? Because this is Vishnu who is God. But she was a devotee of Krishna. So she immediately wanted Krishna to show up in his two-handed form. So this was Devaki's intense love for Krishna. So Vasudeva and Devaki, they had great love for Krishna, but still their love is mixed with jnana and Aishwarya. How do we know this? When we saw Lord Krishna, appear in his four-handed form, they started offering prayers to him. They started offering prayers to him. But Nanda and Yashoda never offered prayers to Krishna. So Krishna used to come and, he used to carry a chappal of footwear of Nanda Baba on his head, like this. They were okay with it. Yeah. They were very pleased, they felt a lot of love for him, Krishna as a small baby. Yeah. Nanda Baba and Yashoda Maya, in Vrindavan, actually, there's a place. This place is close to Nandagram, a place where Nanda Maharaj and all the other elderly Gopas, they used to come together and used to discuss a lot of things, like the village Sarpanch. So in that case, Nanda Baba was, when they were telling, what he heard, that your son is actually Sakshat Narayan, the Supreme Personality of Head. They said that, they tell about all that. So Nanda Baba hears everything and he says, maybe, but how do I, take this? When the clouds are rumbling and there is thunder and storm, he comes running and hides behind me. So, he's my son. So he had that sweet relationship with Krishna, that of a son. And it was never tainted with Aishwarya. So similarly is his relationship with Yashoda Mai. So that is why Krishna is called Yashoda Nandan and Nandanandan in Vrindavan. So as I said, on the other hand, the relationship with Devaki and Yashoda Mai was different. Yeah. When Uddhava, Uddhava is, Krishna's cousin come friend, who's very, very dear to Krishna. So Krishna personally sends Uddhava to Vrindavan, for him to understand what is actually Vraja Prema, that is pure love. So when Uddhava comes, he comes on a mission of consoling the Brajvasis who are literally dying in the pangs of separation from Krishna. So when Uddhava comes, he sees Nanda Baba and Yashoda Maya, they're crying intensely in separation from Krishna. So Uddhava then goes to them. He's a Jnani Bhakta. He's a disciple of Brihaspati. So he goes and consoles them and tries to give them Gyan. Don't worry, please don't cry. Krishna, he's the absolute truth. He's the supreme personality of God. He's omnipresent. He's present everywhere. There is no place that he is not present. So why do you cry? Please don't cry. So in this way, he tries to remind them of Krishna's supreme opulence. Then Nanda Baba says, he may be anything, but he's my son. So this is what is predominating of, the Madhurya Bhava, or the predominating, Vatsalya Bhava, which is pure. He did not allow the Aishwarya Bhava to shadow. So in Dwaraka and in Mathura, the Aishwarya, the Madhurya is covered with Aishwarya. But in Vrindavan, it is the other side. The Aishwarya, or the opulence of the Supreme Lord, is covered by Madhurya. So they have an understanding of Krishna's opulence, but their intense love, the sweetness of love is so overwhelming that it just covers it. It just covers it over. So this is what, the work came and he told about the position of Lord Krishna, who is omnipresent and omniscient. And Nanda Maharaj didn't buy it. He said, he may be, but he's my son. So this is, like difference. These are very, very subtle differences, little difficult to grasp, but, the understanding gives us a glimpse into spiritual world and the relationships there. And so this is pure love in Vatsalya Bhava, that which is exhibited by Nanda Baba and Yashoda Mai. So similarly, and that is why, and as I said, one of the predominating distinguishing feature of love for Krishna in all the rasas, and in Sakhya, Vatsalya, and Madhurya Bhav, and Shanta Bhav, is that in these higher rasas, there is a great attraction to the personal form of the Supreme Lord Krishna. So when Krishna was born, when he appeared, yesterday we discussed that, Yashoda Maya was asleep. Yoga Maya has covered over in a way that Yashoda Maya fainted. She was unconscious. And the whole of Brajbhumi, all the Brajvasis were asleep. No one was awake. And when, when after Vasudev came and took Yoga Maya away, so he left, then veil was uncovered and Krishna started crying. Wah, wah, he started crying. So when he started crying, all the Brajvasis, they came running to see, the good fortune of Yashoda Maya. And when they saw the beautiful bodily form of Lord Krishna there, their joy knew no bounds. It was so beautiful. It was so effulgent. That's why he was called, Ujjwala Neela Mani. Like a Neela Mani, like a beautiful bluish, rare sapphire. Yeah. And, they saw all auspicious marks. He had beautiful eyes, which were, anointed with kajal. They saw Kasturi Tilaka. And he had the Kaustuba jewel. He has beautiful, beautiful curly hair. And so when all the gopis saw that, he did not open his hands, because if he opens his palms, all these great marks of, Krishna, Lord Krishna's and Radharani's hands, they have specific marks, which are called the auspicious signs. So Krishna did not open his palms because he didn't want them to see. So, and he was so effulgent, so radiant, that when Yashodamai actually saw him, his body was so effulgent that it was like a mirror. And Yashodamai could see her own reflection on him. That was how effulgent Lord Krishna's body was. So when Yashodamai saw her own reflection in the body of Krishna, she was bewildered. She thought this might be some other woman who came to snatch away her baby from her. So from day one, Yashodamai was in anxiety about Krishna. Then she was telling, oh, who are you? Just go away. Have you come to take away my baby boy from me? So she's like imbued, she's always immersed, absorbed in that pure love for Krishna, in the Vatsalya Bhava. And all the Brajvasis are so fond of Krishna's beautiful personal form that they could never have ever take away their eyes off them. Even the gopis, if you read in the Gopi Gita, they actually chastise Brahmadev. Why did you give us eyelids? Athati yad bhavan ahani kananan triti yugayate tvama pasyatam. Kutila kuntalam shrimukham chati. So this is, they say, Krishna, even if we miss your darshan, even for a moment, triti yugayate tvama pasyatam. If we cannot see you even for triti means a very small fraction of time, we cannot handle that separation. And they say how, this Brahma has no sense of creation. He has created eyelids that blink. And while blinking, in that moment, we miss your darshan. So this is how, in that pure love, as you see, they are very, very connected to the personal form of Lord Krishna. So this is, as I said, this is the pure Vatsalya Rasa of Nanda Baba and Yashoda Maya, which is totally devoid of any sense of awe and reverence. I mean, at the sadhaka level, how do we understand this? One should not artificially imitate these kind of a higher rasas. It is for us to hear, understand, appreciate what exactly this pure love and who are the examples who are exemplifying it. That kind of a loving exchange with the Lord. For a devotee who's a sadhaka, one has to begin to understand about Lord Krishna and about with Shraddha, with faith, and with devotional attitude of service. And in due course of time, the higher truths are revealed. And understanding these rasas, help us appreciate, the position of different devotees in relationship with the Lord. So today we discussed about Shantaras, the Sakhyaras, the Vatsalyaras. We'll have some glimpse of what how devotees are in Madhurya Bhava. So in Madhurya Rasa, devotees are associated with Lord Krishna, who are the different examples of this rasa. They are the Gopi Gana, they are the Mahishi Gana, and the Lakshmi Gana. So Gopi Gana are the gopis of Brajbhumi, who are the associates essentially of Srimati Radharani. And Mahishi Gana. Mahishi Gana are the queens of Dwaraka. And there is Lakshmi Gana. They are the goddesses of fortune of Vaikuntha. So all these great devotees are associated with the Lord in Madhurya Rasa. So again, Madhurya Rasa is again of two types, the Swakiya Bhava and Parakiya Bhava. So Swakiya Bhava is more found in the Vaikunthas and Dwaraka and Mathura. the fields of Dwarka especially exemplifies Swakiya Bhava, Swakiya Madhurya Rasa. And the gopis of Vrindavan manifest the Parakriya Madhurya Rasa. And of them, the topmost is Srimati Radharani. Srimati Radharani and all the gopis exhibit love that is totally devoid of any sense of awe and reverence. They, in fact, even they chastise Krishna. Radharani sometimes she becomes so angry with Krishna. She looks at the sky and when she sees the dark rain cloud, she says, "Stop rumbling. No, I don't trust you." Or who's representing that black man. You're, in that sweetness of her anger, man, she becomes very impatient, disturbed. She shouts at Krishna. She doesn't eat, or she fasts. I mean, these are beautiful ecstatic symptoms which are explained in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, which are a manifestation of her Mahabhava, her pure love for Lord Krishna. So this is the different rasas in which devotees love and connect to the Supreme Lord. And these rasas, as I said, are eternal and they are original. And what we experience in this material world are a reflection. And that is why they are non-satiating, like the mirage in the desert. So this is the reality and the beauty of the pure devotion of Braja. And this is called Braja Bhakti. And it is the supreme compassion of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to descend just 500 years ago to unfold these confidential truths that are rarely known and understood to everybody, to bless them, with the highest. So I will end here. So today we spoke about, the continuation of the appearance of Lord Krishna and the nature of and the difference of the Vatsalya ras between Devaki and Nanda and Vasudev, and the Vatsalya ras that is in the heart of Yashodamai and Nanda Baba. So thank you all very much. Any questions?
Hare Krishna Madhaji. Firstly, thank you for the beautiful session. So I love the fact that Krishna is very he plays with his devotees and very childlike. I actually want to know where can I read this playful nature of this Krishna. Actually, I just love the fact he plays. I mean, of course, he's so great and all, killing all the demons. But I would like to know can you suggest at my level, where can I read?
So Srila Prabhupada has given us the book, Krishna, the Supreme Personality of God. And I think you have this book, right?
Yes, I do have it, Mataji.
Yes. So actually, even before Srila Prabhupada has completed the Srimad Bhagavatam, he has compiled, he was given the gist of the 10th canto in the Krishna book. Because Krishna's pastimes are so beautiful, so attractive. In Kali Yuga, we're all short-lived. We never know that we make it all the way from the first canto to the 10th canto and 12th canto. So Prabhupada, out of his mercy, gave us the Krishna book in itself for us to read, understand, relish, and connect. So Krishna, actually, there are the disciples of Prabhupada, who are here for the last 40 years or more, or 50 years. Every single day in the night before sleeping, they read Krishna book. And since 50 years means they have read Krishna's book at least, 100 times by now. So it's very beautiful, very amazing to be in touch with Krishna Katha somehow or the other. And one beautiful way is regularly reading the Krishna book. Krishna book is available also in an audio form. So if you wish, you can even turn on the audio form and keep hearing before you sleep. But best is to open the book and read. It's very amazing. Many years ago, like when I used to read the Krishna book from in front of my deities before putting them to rest. I used to offer my deities milk, and I used to read half a chapter or one chapter, and then used to go put them to rest. It's a very beautiful experience. Try this and see how it affects your heart. Every night before sleeping, take half an hour aside and read Krishna book by Prabhupada. And that's the best way. All the pastimes are so beautifully narrated and described by Srila Prabhupada. In fact, every Janmashtami, like the whole day, there are so many programs, like Katha, Kirtan, and everything. And when Prabhupada used to, and all the devotees and brahmacharis used to be so exhausted. And it's very exhausting, generally, if you ever go to a temple, you'll see how exhausting it is, the whole Janmashtami celebration. And after all the services, then they all used to gather around Prabhupada, and Prabhupada would say, okay, now we'll read Krishna book. And they were like almost about to faint because there's fasting and there is so much of seva. And then they used to read Krishna book. So Prabhupada used to relish so much just hearing all the pastimes of Lord Krishna. So all these wonderful pastimes of how Krishna has killed different demons. Putana, Trinavarta, Aghasura, Bakasura, Vyomasura, Arishtasura, all they're very nicely described. Apart from that, Krishna's butter stealing pastimes and Gopi's garment stealing, but all these are very nicely described in the entire Krishna book. So daily keep reading, and Prabhupada gave very elaborate and detailed description, very juicy and very nectarine. So try reading. I'm sure you will love it.
Sure, Mataji, I will. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. So we'll meet again tomorrow. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai.